Hello and welcome to the Bed Hoppers podcast. My name's Mr. H.
I'm Mrs. H.
Thank you for joining us today. We have got some stuff to talk about. We don't know what it is, so we're just going to riff track it and see if it all comes together by the end. Now, we're a bit late on delivering the podcast for a number of reasons, but the main one is that we haven't recorded.
Well, that is a valid reason.
I mean, the fact that we hadn't recorded probably would imply that we've not been thinking about the show, and that would be a lie, gentle listener. That would be a lie. We've been thinking about the show and looking at what we can do to make it better. Reboot it, rehash it, maybe, like add some special editions, special effects.
Special effects?
Yeah, we're going to add all that shit. We're going to George Lucas the hell out of the thing.
Oh, my God.
It's going to be Bed Hoppers special edition.
You're going to get Jar Jar Binks in.
What's he also saying?
Nobody wants Jar Jar Binks.
No, we're not going to be adding like a CGI character. I mean, we could, I suppose, but I don't think it's going to be to the benefit of the audience, really. Mostly stuff that I would enjoy more than anything else, I guess. But I think what we've been talking about over the last few episodes is kind of the slog of the podcast. I've been pouring my little heart out and, did last episode. I'm sorry about that, people. I am really genuinely. But
it's important
I think
to get these things out.
It is important to get it out and slap it on the table and say, what do you think of that? And that's exactly what I've done. So with all that in mind, we've had some feedback from our patrons, from people that have emailed and messaged and got in contact with us over the website. Yeah, it still exists. bedhoppers.co.uk is still a thing. You can still message us on that. So yeah, we've been looking at the feedback, working out kind of how we proceed with the podcast. And I think the way that we're going to go about this, right, in the future, this isn't like the rebooted version. This is we've taken too long to come back to you and we should produce some content whilst we're like putting all the stuff into the magic machine, right? Like grinding it through the hopper.
You have a machine.
I have a machine. I'm more machine now than man, twisted and evil. So we are looking at what we do with the podcast. I think it is going to move to mostly monthly. That is my thought process. So it takes some of the pressure off of me doing all the editing. But of course, we're still going to do things for our patrons, which we've mentioned. But if you're not a patron, then you could be one of those.
Then now's the time. You'll get more things.
You'll get more stuff, or the regular amount of stuff maybe that you would have got before. We're still going to give them early access. We're still going to try and do more than one a month. But if it doesn't happen, you know what? I'm not going to get upset about it. No. I'm not going to go fuck. So if it doesn't happen, if you get more than one a month,
then it's a bonus.
Bonus for you. We're still going to do some good stuff. We're still going to be doing some interviews. We're still going to be talking to subject matter experts. All that felt a bit worky, like going back to work.
It did a little bit. If you mention synergy now.
Oh, synergy. Oh, yes.
Let's circle back.
So let's put this back into the brain trust or whatever it is. Ugh. I feel all dirty now. It's like a day at work. But anyway, so we're going to be still doing some great stuff, I hope, but we're going to be taking the pressure off, going monthly, and also sort of rebooting the show. Maybe we'll call it season 2. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll put season 2 in the thing. Probably won't be that much different, but it'll still be
some more structure.
Yeah, a bit more structure, a bit more sort of segmented.
Yeah.
And, we're still going to be doing interviews, still going to be talking to cool people. But I think the important thing is that I want to continue enjoying the show. I want to make sure that the stuff we put out there is good. And, it's sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. You be the judge of that. But I felt like some of the episodes could be better. Probably this one, to be fair. But we're going to work on that and make sure that we're putting our bestest foot forward, foots, one of them forward and seeing how it goes. Yeah. And so this one was very much in the meantime of us thinking through that and going through all the stuff that we need to and getting all the things ready for the new season or nude season.
I like this new season business.
Yeah, it's good at season 2. Only took 220 blah, 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 blah episodes before we got to that point. But I think we're going to do that.
Yeah.
We're going to reboot it a bit. And this one is mainly a sort of not all filler, no killer, but it is a bit of a, let's just have a bit of a chat. Let's just talk about some questions that you've got bubbling along in your head, see how it goes, and wrap it up nicely before season 2. Yeah, let's end on not a high, but let's go out with this season with a whimper before we come back better, stronger, harder, longer, whatever it is.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So are you going to be clearing your throat all the way through?
No,
just the one time.
Just to give you something to do. I know how much you love ad hoc noises.
Well, now I can't edit that one out because I've referenced it, so we're going to have to include it. And
You'll probably
hopefully
get the cat meowing at some point, and then that'll drive you nuts.
I'll just add a cat meow sound effect now. That's
a cat segment.
We've replaced Meg and Noodle with just AI cats, and I can just push a button and then they meow when I need them to.
I mean, we do that anyway.
Yeah, this is even when I don't. So anyways, you had some questions, right? Let's talk about those because I think it will be a good, valuable discussion. And we'll see how it pans out, right?
And plus, it's rare that I come up for anything, right?
It is. I mean, the fact that you're making a contribution bodes well for season 2 of the Bed Hoppers podcast.
Much like Bridgerton or Fingerton that I've been watching.
What?
Because I keep thinking that the next season will yield more interesting stuff, but yet it doesn't.
And yet it doesn't. Oh, I see.
Not.
So basically, the podcast is fucked. And if you keep listening, well done.
We're going to do what Fingerton doesn't do, basically.
What Fingerton doesn't do.
Which is interesting things other than going to balls.
I have seen precisely 3.5 minutes
and
of
that's all you need to see.
And I think my This Is Jank review was ample, quite frankly.
I declared season 1 as whack, season 2 as jank,
yeah,
and I've just started season 3.
Okay.
And you may ask, why am I continuing to watch this jank, whack nonsense?
It says, one was whack, one was jank. Jank, and the next one is wank. Jank and whack combined.
Yeah, I mean, it's just variation of a theme. Okay. It doesn't really change. But everyone tells me I've got to watch it. It's really good. So I'm giving it a go. Because I'm committed. I need to see it through.
Isn't like the thinking lady's bit of strumpet, isn't that what we're talking about?
Well, you may well say this, Mr. H, but it's not.
Oh, okay.
The only redeeming factor was the fact that it had a character in it called Simon the Rake. Which made me laugh.
I hate my fucking name.
And this Simon was indeed a bit of a cad.
A bit of a cad, a bounder.
A rake.
A rake.
He was a rake.
I mean, why are they always bad, like Simons and things, bad characters, bad, like Trevor and Simon back in the day, Simple Simon, it was Simon the Dolphin in Bad Teacher, Simon the
nerd,
the nerd, the owl in Your Highness. These are some of the Simons that I can recall.
Now we have Simon the Rake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they were great,
and he is indeed a jumping
bounder,
cad,
a bed hopping
rogue,
a bed hopping bounder. Well, that is delightful.
Yeah.
Well, let's get on to your questions.
Yeah,
let's do it. Let's kind of go with it and see where we go from there. Right, go for it, wife.
All right. Well, it's not a question as such. It's more of a here's my statement. Discuss.
Oh, okay.
All right, and I have
like
already,
an essay.
No,
right, 500 words.
Preparing a white paper on it.
Okay.
But, it was something that was just going around my head.
All right.
I tentatively sort of asked you a little bit earlier, what do you think about this? And then I thought, hang on. Why are we having this conversation now?
Why are we not getting paid for this conversation? We're not getting paid for this
either.
But yeah.
Anyway, my statement was thus.
All right.
I said to you earlier, when you are in an environment where you are not with me, you're with a different play partner.
Yep.
And that could be as part of a group experience where there's, I'm there too.
Yeah.
Or as we have been actually recently doing more of, which is solo experiences. I asked you, do you think your play style is more performative for that new or for that different play partner, and how different is the sex with them than it is with me?
Okay.
Broadly, that was the kind of
discuss. That is the. So, I mean, I'm always performative, obviously.
Well, no. I'm going to start right there. Performative. I think in my head, I'm thinking performative as in its broadest sense, trying to impress someone a bit or putting on your best moves.
So not you're not
Austin Powers style.
So you don't. Yeah. It's amusing that you think Austin Powers is best moves for me.
You are performative with me sometimes in that you can be comedic.
Yes, there we go.
In the way that only same-sex partner sex can be for 20 or 25 years.
I do put the dick back into comedic. So I don't think performative is necessarily the word that you mean there.
Okay.
Because performative for me means like putting on a show and putting on a...
Well, you are for one person rather than multiple.
Yes, but I think you're also chucking in, do you put your best foot forward? Like, do you go the extra mile for your play partners?
Yeah. amp up the stakes a bit because it's
like
someone,
a magician's show.
someone else.
Above this pool of sharks with laser beams, we shall now make sweet, sweet love.
I never got any sharks and laser beams.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean. So with your primary partner, whatever dynamic you're in, if you have a partner that you have been with for a number of years and you consider them to be your main partner in life, you could argue that over time, sex can become more comfortable.
Yeah.
Not perfunctory. That's not the right word at all. But you know what I mean? Like more kind of, it's just like almost like you're used to each other and it's comfortable and it's safe.
I love how you're digging a hole with this.
You don't have to. You don't have to kind of go all out to.
Is this how you're trying to tell me in a roundabout way?
Make a good first impression.
That I no longer try.
No.
Is that what? That's
or maybe
what I'm
it's me saying it's me not trying. I don't know.
Well, okay. So I think like, let me break. There's so much to break down on this.
Yeah, I know.
So for the actual partners, for your primary partner that you're with, I think there's a couple of things at play. One is that you tend to know the cheat codes to your partner.
Oh.
And so you roll those out rapidly because often life is happening around you. You don't necessarily set aside like hey, let's have a sexy evening. It's not often that you do that all the time, right?
Certainly not all the time. You wouldn't.
But sometimes you're like, hey, sexy times would be fun. So I think when it comes to that, often there are things going on. It's getting late. You need to go to bed. You need to get up early. The kids are doing whatever. There's like all sorts of lifing is happening around you, right? So sometimes that efficiency and knowing how to get you there and not get it out the way, but to get each other achieve quickly is important. And I think that becomes your default because you know how to, like, you're like, hey, I know the move that Mrs. H likes, so I will do that move and she'll come and then everyone's gravy, right? Everyone's good. But it's true when you're like, I've got to get up at 6 o'clock and it's now 11 o'clock and I'm like, hey,
I need more than 5 hours sleep.
Yes, but you want to have sexy times, right?
Yeah.
Right? So, but also I think when you look at the pantheon of your time together, I think there is only, like, you do have sex quite a bit, but actually not all of it is going to be the performative porn star show that you might have with someone when you've only got one shot, one opportunity, or it's a rare occurrence when that happens, right?
Yeah.
So I think, you probably do have the same amount, or if not more, sort of moments where you perhaps do that with your partner, but actually it's spread out over a longer period of time. And I think quite often when we look back at things, we don't always remember all the different like good times. We just remember the points when we're like, oh, we didn't do this or this didn't happen. So I think that time stretches your perception of what goes on. So you forget about some of the hot, sexy times that you might have. Not saying that's always the case.
No.
And certainly I think it is easy to fall into some of those traps and fall into those pieces where you life does become a bit ordinary. And but you do have to try. I think it is important to try to kind of make things exciting and bring them to life. And hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do that. And I think that in combination can really help with a relationship. I think that's a key thing that I'd keep in the back of my mind as we go through the performative bit. Because I think the performative bit is an interesting one because when you go and let's take a group situation where there might be 4 of you or there might even just be 3 of you, right?
Yeah. More than 2 of you.
More than 2 of you. More than your primary partner or the partner you're used to, right? If you see that partner with somebody else, that might turn you on. And it for many people it does. But sometimes you'll hear them do something or see them do something that they don't do with you. And sometimes that response, so say, for example, and this is a real life example for us, when you are with other people, Mrs. H, you tend to be 6% louder, thereabouts.
Well, hang on, 6%.
6%, you're never really loud, but like 6%, like you go from like whisper to like slight noise, right?
I'm enjoying this arbitrary 6%. Statistic you've come out nowhere with.
And
not 10%.
Not 10%.
6.
And with some people, you'll whisper in their ear and talk to them.
Oh.
So that might be like, that I might give you an extra 15% dial up on that one, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you don't do that with me.
No.
So I'm like, well, why is that? Is that because that person is better or different or it's someone new or you're putting on an act or whatever? And that's something that we've had discussions about.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm like, where's my fucking whispering in the air?
You don't do that with me episode.
Yeah, where is my all the noise, that 6% of noise that I don't get?
You want an extra 6%,
yeah, you should give it extra 6% with you.
I'll give you an extra 7%. How about that?
Fucking hell. I don't want to come too soon in this situation. Let's just give me 5% and I'll,
5%.
Yeah,
all
just,
right, okay.
or 3% like a Bon Jovi halfway there. So I think there is that to consider. I think when you yourself are playing with particularly in a group situation,
Right.
I think that things can become a little bit performative because everyone's they're not trying to out-sexy each other, but the collective people in a room become more than the sum of their parts.
Yeah.
I think there is that person's moaning, oh, that's sexy, they'll moan and you'll moan, and it becomes more of a collective group effort. Like we've assimilated their sexy screams. Everyone is giving it now 11%. I think that is a thing that happens. I think when it comes to new people or even people that are different to your primary partner, I think most of us who aren't dicks at least, want to impress, right? We all want to be like, we all want a good fuck advisor review, right? We all want to be like, oh, that was so sexy. You're awesome. High fives all round. Good job. Like you get the stamp of approval.
For the right reasons.
Yeah, you get the Mr. H endorses this stamp. Like,
Have I got to make another stamp for you?
I think that was a stamp you gave me.
Clit Advisor approved.
Yeah, Clit Advisor 100% rating, 5 stars or whatever it is, like the Google or Yelp ratings, right? So I think we all want to put in a good effort, not only because we want to make that person satisfied and have a good experience, but also the knowledge that you've done a good thing and you've been good at sex is a nice thing. So I think you naturally try a bit harder because
my question. Yeah.
And often you have to crack out the Rolodex because one of the interesting things about playing with other people is that they are not the exact same person unless you've cloned them and they've had the exact same life experiences as your partner, right? So my cheat moves for you might work with some people, and in fact they have, and that is like, hey, I am like sex god 101 because this is what I can do with my eyes closed and my arms tied behind my back. Not literally, but some people you bust out the move and you get nothing. And then you're like, oh shit, what? Like, oh, I have other experiences, other things that I know that you don't particularly like that I'll run through, and in an attempt to be sexy and make that person have a really good experience until you find the thing that works for them. It helps if they tell you what that thing is, by the way.
They may not know.
Well, they may not know.
Different partner,
but they could probably go, hey, you know that thing where someone goes down on you and they do this? That's what I like. That is helpful information and should be. Like people should have like handout pamphlets, little business cards that say do this.
But the difficulty there is sometimes you do things to me that I don't want other people to do because they won't do it the same way you do it.
Well, that is true.
Sometimes telling somebody what you think you want actually may not work out because they may not do it the same way that the other person does.
Pro tip, you could get their partner to show you. Like, so for example, like we have had a situation where I have shown another lady, in fact, it's happened a couple of times.
Yeah, that's true.
How I go down on you so they may replicate that, obviously with not the same amount of skill that I bring to the table. No, of course not. They'll never match the lofty heights of Mr. H going down on Mrs. H, but they may emulate some of that and like a mindful chef or gusto meal is like the memory of the nice food that you had. And sometimes that is enough to get you there.
Hopefully without all the carrot.
Sorry?
Hopefully without all the carrots.
Maybe.
Yeah,
well.
Always so many carrots in these bloody things. But anyway.
Well, I assume you're talking about the mindful chef meals.
Yes,
and
not the sex.
Not the sex. Very few carrots involved.
Carrots might be a new thing I've not tried with anyone yet, but... not a lover of carrots.
help you see in the dark, perhaps. Anyway, moving swiftly away from that one. I think that is true of like everyone wanting to do their thing. I think when it comes to performative stuff. So, for example, when we have our solo adventures, right? For me, I don't think I'm putting on like it's not a song and a dance, right? I'm not like, I want to impress. I want someone to go away going, wow, that date that I had with Mr. H was pretty fucking good. I would like another one of those, right? But I'm not doing it in at least I hope I'm not, in a showy sort of way in front of other people. Like, when you go to a club, right? And if it's got open spaces and you can see people having sex,
Yeah.
a lot of the time, those people are putting on a specific show and being performative in a, hey, look at us kind of way. That is not what I want to bring to the table. I want to build a level of intimacy with my dates. But at the same time, I want them to like go away having a like really good time, right? Is that
So this is why one of the questions I asked is because I have, in the past observed people in club environments, for example, involved in maybe group play, and pretty much reenacting Pornhub sets. I am fuck and doing things that, and I think, oh my God, like, is this how we have sex at home with their partners? I don't know. Or is it something they reserve mainly for, when they go out and do these experiences within the confines of their kind of open relationship?
So I think some people's natural style will be what you would consider and what I might consider to be a bit over the top, right? The natural way of doing things is a little bit performative, and everyone has different views of how they've come to their sexual or gone through their sexual journey, right? So for some people, their lens will 100% have been sort of made through Pornhub and through porn or through whatever, and that's what they think sex is. And for them, that might absolutely be the case, right? That might be the best thing ever since sliced bread. But I think our lens has been much more about the connection and the intimacy that we've made together, and like a porn style sex show is probably not where we find our heads, right? Whilst it may be something that comes alive a little bit in front of other people, I'm not entirely sure that is typically like our style. And in fact, we're in a group chat at the moment. We're heading off to an event soon, and one of the questions were, do you like to be watched or do you like to watch? And I think for me, the answer is, well, not really either. Like I find like watching is like, oh, it's sexy, but I don't particularly get anything from you watching you.
Never have done.
No, and if anything, my mind is going, well, when do I get to take part? When do I get to take part? But at the same point, like I don't particularly enjoy being watched unless it is with like a group that we're really familiar with, and then actually I might get more from watching as well, because they're friends that we've got an intimate connection with.
So do you think some of the performative play that you might witness then, maybe that other people do enjoy being watched and maybe that's why it comes out?
Yeah.
Or are they doing it, do you think, for their play partner?
It could be that they're doing it for their partner. It could be that they're doing it because they enjoy it, or it could be that is the way that they have sex. And it is just a style that wouldn't be necessarily our style in terms of like if they're like screaming and really like not scream, but you know what I mean, like really loud and really like
out of character.
Out of character. But it's kind of, everyone has a different style, and I've found most people tend to be relatively like within a set of boundaries, but occasionally you go to a club and see someone that is really sort of, it feels out there and feels like they are putting on a show. That absolutely could be their standard. That might be how they have sex at home.
Or maybe that's how they make themselves feel more in the moment and makes them feel more sexy.
And leaning into that, I am a porn star and this is my show and I'm doing this, maybe their way of getting really into their head and really enjoying the moment. But I think I tend to shy away from things that are too performative. The performance of it feels a little false.
Right.
And it feels a little put on, and it doesn't feel so real. And I realize that for some people, it can be a bit of a fake it till you make it. And like if they do all of the signs that they think is like porn-like or sexy or whatever, then they'll get there. But actually, the reality is that do they necessarily, is that what they really think? Is that how they want to have sex and how they want to be perceived? Or do they really want a much more intimate sort of, I'd say quieter, but because noise seems to be a thing in it, but like bouncing around everywhere, whatever it is, do they want that more genuine, perhaps, connection? I'm saying genuine. These are all my perceptions of what I think sex should be. And it might well be that I'm totally not wrong, but I'm in a minority and everyone else is like really loud and like really super out there.
So do you think the sex that you have with other people is vastly different to the sex that we have?
I think It can be. I think, I mean, there's by the nature of it being me, there is going to be a similarity, and at least the penis is the same, you know, and there's only so much I can do with it, right? But I think there is I think as you learn people's different approaches, and we've been very fortunate in that we've got a number of people that we see fairly regularly or have played with a number of times. I'm hoping, understand a little bit at least about what they like and what they don't like. And those likes and not likes are similar to yours and dissimilar in many ways. And like I will apply the ones that are appropriate. I mean, do you find that? I mean, I guess to a certain extent when you've played separately, you've been playing with women. So it's not like you can...
I can't really compare that.
Yeah.
It's never going to be a blueprint of you, is it?
But are you being performative? Because I think there is a little bit of performance to some of your interactions.
Do you?
Mm.
And you're referring to interactions with men or women?
I think both. Oh. So I think there is a little bit of, for some people, I think you like to play some mind games. But I don't think you...
That's not performative, that comes naturally.
Well, I don't think you try and pull that on me.
Oh, no, probably not. No, because, interesting, I know you too well. You know me too well. I think for that to ever be an area of interest.
You have to not know someone.
A little bit.
I don't think that's...
Well, maybe not know someone, but there needs to be an element of some psychological aspect that you can play with. Mm. And for that to happen, there needs to be some trust, right? Fine. For someone to let you into that space in the first place. But by the same token, there needs to be almost like something that you've shared together, maybe on a cerebral basis, but not a physical, but you can then play into a little bit. I don't think our play style as a couple is particularly cerebral sometimes. I think it's more physical and attraction based because that's how we are. We've known each other for a long time.
Plus I've looked inside that brain.
But you don't want to get inside there. You know me inside out. Like there's nothing you don't know about me.
So this is an interesting one, right? Because I think I don't think you particularly want to be cerebral with me. But I think sometimes you want me to be cerebral with you. Oh. And I think so for example, we recently had a sexy play date.
We did.
And so I had a lovely, sexy single lady over.
Yeah.
While you were out for a work thing.
Yeah.
And then you wanted to try something.
Oh, yeah. Have we not talked about this?
No.
Oh, well, I guess we're talking on it now.
I don't think we have. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to complain about it.
I don't recall us talking about it. Yeah.
By the way, the new podcast will be better. We'll try and remember what we've actually spoken about, probably, maybe.
No, you're gaslighting me again. I don't honestly remember talking about this, apart from to you, obviously.
So let me set the scene, right?
Okay.
So you were out for a work evening meal, drinks or whatever, out for a bit. And then, so I had a solo date with a lovely lady.
Yeah.
And the idea is that we'd have some fun. And then at some point you would come home.
Yeah.
And then maybe potentially there might be some sexy things.
Yeah.
But you said that you had something that you wanted to ask us before you came home.
Yeah.
And then you didn't tell us what it was
until the night. I asked you if you wanted to know until the night.
Well, you sort of insinuated that it was something that you couldn't talk about until the night, so therefore
yes, because I wasn't 100% sure until the day that I wanted to do this anyway. So for one, I didn't want to like over promise, under deliver. And I thought, I'll see how I feel on the day, and if I'm in that kind of space, then I'll give this a try and see how that feels.
Okay. And what was that? What did you ask us?
Inspired by my love of film Secretary. Mm-hmm. I do like that film. I do like that film, but it's interesting because it's not a space I naturally gravitate to or play in terms of, being told what to do and being told I'm a good girl. It's never appealed to me.
do you want to explain a bit more for the people that have never seen Secretary? Don't explain the plot because
no, you don't want me to explain the plot. It'll be here for like
but what is
a
what
very
is the
long
thing
podcast.
what is the thing you were talking about?
I suppose it's is it domination?
Yeah, it's being a bit submissive, I think.
Subdom kind of vibe. Yeah. Yeah. So essentially, yes, he doms her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not something we've ever done because it's not something that's ever appealed, certainly to me. It might have appealed to you, I don't know, but it's not, I don't like being told what to do, ever.
But this is true.
It's virtually impossible to do that. I certainly don't like anyone else telling me what to do. And so for that reason, I've never really thought about it from my perspective of wanting to play in that space.
Yeah.
That's not to say I'm not compelled and curious to watch material or subject matter with that as a topic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really intrigued by it, and I quite enjoy watching that kind of play out in a media style. But I'm not. It's not something I've wanted to do. Okay, so that's the context there. Given you were having a solo date with someone, I think, who is probably more inclined to enjoy that space, certainly from conversations we've had. And given the fact that you generally are in no way submissive either, and you are probably more naturally dominant, I would say, it felt like an opportunity to maybe go into that territory a little bit.
Okay.
And I wanted to understand maybe how it felt to have the escapism of being told what to do. Not because it necessarily turned me on, but because I just wanted to, I think I wanted to know how it felt. And I also wanted to understand if it made you and her feel sexy.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been, interesting again for me to know that all three of us were maybe doing something that added to our play dynamic a little bit.
Okay.
So, yeah, I kind of tailored my arriving home outfit a little to be not quite what you're expecting, maybe.
Well, I think the cow with udders costume was probably a bit
of a giveaway.
a bit of a giveaway. No, so you turned up.
Yeah.
Which is good. Always a good sign.
Always a good sign.
Always a good sign.
Came home.
Dressed very much as a slutty secretary, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I went all in with the vibe.
Yeah. I mean, you look fantastic.
Thank you.
You really look. And I think our lady friend was unable to talk for a few minutes.
And that in itself was really quite sexy because I thought I'm doing something that neither of you were really expecting.
No, and I think the challenge that we had, because obviously you told us a little bit about this almost as you were on the way home.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then we were like, well, we don't really have the confines of what you want from that experience.
No.
And I think so, I mean, we were able to do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But I think for us, it was like, oh, that is hot, but also we are not in, and I don't think that is our lady friend's natural space to
but
be.
I thought she might enjoy seeing you do that, maybe.
Yeah. And I think...
Or joining in peripherally.
Yes. So I think we did a little bit of that, but I think with a bit more time and conversation, we could have set some proper boundaries around the realms of what's acceptable. What I didn't want to do was just be like...
Hey, go and do the washing up.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
That didn't work.
Yeah. Take this down, wife.
Let's not do that. No, do it yourself. I'm not damn secretary. Oh, wait, I am.
Yeah. Go and produce the podcast for me. Go and do 2 hours of editing. Go on.
I didn't like this.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there was, it was very sexy and it was very interesting to see you present yourself in that way. I think what we needed was probably a little bit more of a conversation together around what that might feel like so we could give you something of a better overall experience.
Yeah.
And I think that was obviously quite a performative, would have been quite performative.
And part of the performative element for me, I think, was the fact that I actually kept all my clothes on.
Yeah.
And yet we still had sex.
Yeah.
And that was quite interesting because that's not normally how we do that. You were all naked.
Yeah.
And I was dressed and I remained relatively dressed all the way through. But I think I was, again, quite different to what we've normally done. And that added a little bit of something different, which was quite interesting. So that, Yeah. So that was performative. Yes.
Is that something you'd want to explore again?
Yes. But again, I'm tentative and wary as to how much I do want to go into that, because I know I don't respond that well to
being told what to do.
Authority.
It is a curious one.
It's curious, and I want to kind of just relax a bit and, as I say, have a level of escapism to some extent where I just let myself be told and see how it makes me feel.
Broadly, you don't like making decisions.
No.
And you don't like, for example, your dinner, I cook dinner or tea or whatever for you every night. You don't have any real choice in that. And I pick the meals that we get.
But that's great.
So yeah, that is great. But you are being told what to eat, but just not on a direct, this is what you'll eat.
But that's different.
But you don't, if I say, what is for dinner, or what would you like for dinner? I can't get an answer. And I think this is one of the interesting challenges from you, is that you don't like to be told.
No.
But you also don't like to pick.
No.
So I think
correct. While conflicting.
Yeah. Part of this fantasy is that I think it is stuff that presumably you like, therefore you don't have to worry about picking. I think that is like that space of you don't have to worry about control, because you're actually getting something you like, much like dinner being made for you. I think this is what it is. You get yummy food or yummy sexy times, but you just don't have to worry about making decisions on it. I think that is what I'm translating in my brain as the bit that you like.
It's valid, but I wouldn't say that's the primary reason why it's appealed to me. I think the reason it's appealed to me is because I do enjoy that film, and others like it, and I kind of want to understand how it feels, and if it's something that would make me feel good.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Interested or sexy in some way. But you're right. I fucking hate being told what to do. So it's going to be really interesting, because I really don't like. And I'm also not in any way bratty. It's not a thing that I can ever get my head around. I don't like to see it, and I don't want to be it. And I don't think, if I'm correct, that I will stray into that side of things, because I'll despise it.
I think,
what am I doing? No, this isn't right. Don't want to be bratty.
I think for you either want to do something or you don't. You don't. The struggle just irritates you, I think. Particularly having witnessed a number of brats over the years, you're like, what the fucking point is that? And I think that's a direct quote.
And I shouldn't really yuck someone else's yum, as we said before. But yes.
But I think that is your take. So I think there has to be you either do it or you don't.
Yeah.
And if there is a struggle to it, then you're not going to do it. Because I think
that's probably,
if I was like, hey, clean this, you'll be like, fuck off. I think that is that is the immediacy of the response that I would get.
But is that likely to be things that you'll ask me to do?
Well, it might be. It depends what you're cleaning, I suppose.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
There we go.
Maybe I'll watch it again.
Just to see, just to make sure. But genuinely, I think that we can.
I know what I don't want. I do know what I don't want. That bit is very clear to me. I don't want any pain.
You don't want any pain.
I don't want to be beaten.
Okay.
Or hurt. Like, I don't want it to go into that level of, the sort of BDSM part where there's whippings and floggings and just, I don't want that. I know I don't want that.
Okay. So
it's more, again, a cerebral play.
More about the control.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And again, I don't even know if I like it, but we'll see.
Puts electric dog collar away. So, okay. Well, that's something that we can explore.
Dear.
And I think if that's just me, that's great. If that's involving other people, I can have a chat with them and see what
happens.
Yeah, it'll make a forthcoming car journey very interesting, I'm sure. So I think we've kind of talked through some of this performative stuff. For me, really, I really think that every encounter that you have with someone is different. I think we always want to impress our partners. And if you don't, are you just a selfish cunt at that point? Like, if you don't want to impress someone or leave them feeling like better than when you started, then like it feels a little bit selfish, right? Maybe. So I think part of the putting your best foot forward is about being a good human. And I think sometimes when we think about our own partners, the cheat sheets that we've got enable us to go straight to the end result without thinking about the journey. So it's really important to make time to kind of, because if you think about it, on a night out where you've got a different play partner, often the framing of the evening or the experience is around that stuff. Whereas when you're at home with your regular partner, often life is lifing. And even if you try and get away from it, life still finds a way, you know, Jeff Goldblum and all that. But that's why I think holiday experiences create a very different environment, because you're away, often you're in a different country, in a different location or whatever, and there are not the regular disturbances that you might face day in, day out. And that's why we all seem to have a slightly different mentality as to when we're in those spaces.
And probably more success.
With more success. And you kind of go, oh, wow, we rekindled rekindled our thing and it's all been great. But actually you can try and create that at home. But I think as much as you can try and do that, I think separating yourselves from your day-to-day stuff makes it much, much easier. In terms of the performative stuff, I reckon people like when you go to a club, I think often there is a collective sort of, it's like collective madness that people buy into. It's like, hey, everyone's being sexy. This is sexy. And that sexiness compounds things and everyone sort of might join in with that. I do find the whole, if you're playing with someone and there isn't a show to be put on, if they are performative in that sense, then I find that a little bit like, are they really enjoying themselves? It feels a bit fake to me, and it feels a bit like, are you just putting on what you think sexy times are because you've watched Pornhub so much, or what I say Pornhub, but any porn, that is what you think you should be doing. So I do worry about that stuff, but I think we tend to avoid people that are a little bit that way anyway. And if they are too much down that way, once we've experienced it, we've tended to back off. So I think for us, it's much more about those intimate, natural connections. And yes, there can be experiences that you can go through and that you can bring to the table. But I think I genuinely think that those are few and far between. And most of our connections have been about enjoying the moment that you've got with that other person. Was that a bit Springer's final thought?
I mean, always from you. Would you say you put more thought into manscaping for a play date or with regular life?
So manscaping is an interesting one.
I know.
So I think the challenge is that I think if I shave down there more than once a week, then I get lots of ingrowing hairs if I do that more than once a week. And it tends to be that at the weekend we're kind of meeting other people. It's not always the case, but it tends to be. Therefore, the manscaping situation throughout the rest of the week tends to be, it needs to grow out, otherwise I might die. That's an exaggeration, but I think the concept is there. I think same with like the beard and just and anything else really. It tends to be that if we are going out at a weekend, it tends to be that's with other people, and that's where the effort comes in. Not to say that I don't, because we went out on a date on Friday last week, just you and I.
We did. And
there was some trimming involved, and the beard was sorted out, and there was that level of like putting in the effort for my date. And I do believe that, you know, okay, if we're just going to like Sunday brunch or whatever, no one gives a fuck about that. But if we're going out for a date or it's a night in, then I think I generally do put the effort in. At least, I mean, I'll have a shower, I suppose. And, you know, what do you want? What about you? What do you think?
Interesting, isn't it? I know in the past people have said, oh, there's nothing like true love and shaving your half's back before we go on a play date with someone else. And not, you don't shave my back. I'm just saying.
I need to, yeah. It's like a little cushion of hair right now.
People have said that to me before in jest, but also actually there's a level of seriousness in there as well. Yeah, I know it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because you spend so long together and you know each other so well that after a while you think, well, you know, it's a Tuesday night. Would I necessarily make an effort to go shave, particularly just on the off chance that we decide to have sex before we go to bed? Or do you kind of go, well, chances are everything's fine. They still want to sleep with me regardless, and we'll save all the sexy manscaping business until we know we've got like actual other people that will see things that may judge us more. And that's the thing, isn't it? You wouldn't rock up to a play experience for someone else with having not put some effort in. So arguably, why would you not do the same for your partner? But then you don't know you don't plan to have sex necessarily with your partner on a Tuesday night.
Well, and that is part of it. And that I think if you do have a date night or whatever, then I think you probably would do. And I think, you get used to your partners, and I think you do. But the same is true of longer term partners that you see on a more regular basis. You do feel that you can be a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
But that I don't think that effort necessarily stops, and I don't think that necessarily stops with each other. But I think this is going back to what I said earlier on, is that if you look at the pantheon of your life, there's so much stuff that goes on when you think about the small amount of times that you do play with other people. Certainly for us, right? It's, say, small amount of times. It could be like once a week, or it could be once every month or thereabouts, right? If you look at that scale of us together and what we're doing and when we're going out and what we're up to, that probably evens out. Mm. So, I'll shave my balls once a month for you. But it's a interesting one in the effort that you put in. But often I find that our weekends tend to be events, socials, catching up with people. And so we naturally put in effort then, because that's what we're doing. Yeah. We're looking to impress. There is something about even like going to the gym, right? So there's a 3-pronged thing to
in the gym. Sounds horrible.
Yeah. Well, as to why.
So you hurt your shoulder.
Well, this is how I hurt my shoulder today. But I think that there are three reasons as to why I go to the gym in terms of looking better. One is to look better for you. Mm-hmm. And I want to be attractive to you, because if I've not put in the effort for you, then why do I deserve to keep you, maintain you? And I think the exercise bit is part of the whole package of what I do. Mm-hmm. Other things are making you dinner and listening to you and all of this. There's more than that, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
The other thing is that I want to look good for you. So I don't want to let the side down. So if we go out and see other people, I want to look good because I don't want to misrepresent you, because I think you are hot and lovely, and therefore I want to be comparable in as best I can be to you, so that we look like a great couple.
Okay.
The third one is that it's nice to look good for other people as well. You want other people to look at you. So I think with those 3 lenses, 3 of the and there's probably health reasons.
I was going to say, you're not going to put health in there in this.
But in terms of
probably in a more important.
No. It's about looking great, isn't it? Surely. But
when you'll live longer if you look at your health, maybe.
Well, I don't. It's not worth it. If we're only going to have sex once a year, it's not going to be any point.
Probably not. Might as well just slack it off.
Exactly. Slack it off or suck it off. I think, but if you look at those 3 main reasons for visually why you might go to the gym, 2 of those reasons are about you. But there is still one reason that is about other people as well.
Yeah.
So I think, it all does balance out in the end. I think there is the scales kind of go, okay, this is fine. And it's the same as how frequently you have a date night with your other half. I think it's important to have those, and it's important to take that time. And as much as you want to impress your other dates or whatever it is that you're doing, I think you still have to put in the same amount of effort at some point to ensure that you have a nice time. And also I think and I know that we've had this chat. You're like, oh, you're going out there with them. Oh, I see. And I get that. I understand that. But then I recognize that sometimes what I do with on a solo date, some of the activities, for example, right, I've been to like a batting alley, right?
Oh, yeah.
Ironically, where I tore an ab, because that's how strong I am, apparently.
This is such an alpha male way.
No,
I tore an ab.
I am the least furthest thing away from an alpha male. But I know that for that particular date, that was the thing that she would have liked, and that was going to be a fun thing between us. I know if I took you there, you'd be like, why the fuck are we here? I hate this. Get me away from here. Let's go to the next cocktail place. So there is a reality to some of the things that you do with some of the people are not going to, they can't match up, and that you wouldn't want to do it. So when I look at a date for you, when we're going out, I was like, oh, Mrs. H likes nice food and wine. Therefore, we're going to go to a nice Italian place and have a nice chilled out meal with which I know is going to be good, with a nice atmosphere where it's warm. And then broadly, you're golden with that.
Yeah.
So I know that for other people, that wouldn't be their choice of what they'd like to do. So it's important to match it to the person that you're seeing.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Does that,
It does.
is that, yeah?
I mean, I also like Pokemon, but yeah, you won't play a game with me.
Well, no, I won't because I'm not a fucking idiot. By the way, please reach out if you do want to send your Pokemon code to Mrs. H. Please send it to go fuck yourself at Google.
Oh my God.
And if you are a best forever super duper friend, then you've put in more effort than I have.
Yeah, they have. And they probably shaved their balls as well.
They
so there you go.
They probably shave their balls.
Because it's a Tuesday and why not?
Yeah, exactly that. What I will say before we wind up on this one is that we did say that we would name drop someone because we did in our chat. So, hello, CJ, you know who you are. I said I'd drop your name in here. That means nothing to anyone else.
I was going to see, where's the contact?
No context. No one else needs any. This is like end of season 1. No one gives a fuck. We can do anything. We can go mad if we want.
It's like, yeah.
It's like when in Fortnite, when it's like the end of the season, they just chuck any old fucking gun in there just to like, hey, let's try this.
They
we
just
don't give
like
a fuck.
unvolt a gun again.
Yeah, they unvolt it, they put it out, you can give it a go and you go, I really like that, and then
At the
take
moment,
it away
they're just
forever.
like giving away gold.
There we go.
Like,
That's
it's going out of fashion. Like, what's going on? Why have I got 9,000 gold?
Join us for more Fortnite conversation in our other podcast.
Probably be relevant to some people.
Mr. and Mrs. H shoot some kids. That's the name of the podcast, folks. Look out for it. It's going to be great.
I'm awful at Fortnite.
No, you're really awful at Fortnite. Right, on that note, Mrs. H, do your thing.
Fuck you. At the end of this season.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for hopping into our bed.